Hi, I'm Joe here at JessWorks. Let's talk about workers' compensation insurance. Employers are required to have workers' compensation insurance to cover their employees in the event of a workplace incident that results in injury. JessWorks helps companies on our platform comply with the applicable workers' compensation requirements. Let's say some coffee was spilled on the floor in the kitchen and someone tripped and fell. If they were injured by the fall, they may be eligible to claim workers' compensation to cover medical or other costs related to work-related injury. Who is covered by workers' compensation? W-2 employees are covered by workers' compensation insurance. In North Dakota, Ohio, Washington, and Wyoming, employees are covered under state agency policies. Teammates who are not covered include unpaid interns, volunteers, and temps. How does JessWorks help with workers' comp? We make it easy for businesses to obtain and manage their coverage. Every time you make a payment, we automatically calculate your workers' comp charges and display them on your invoices. No action is required to renew your coverage as this is handled by JessWorks. We will keep you updated throughout the process and send you communications. Additionally, JessWorks will provide you with updated certificates of insurance and posting notice. What does workers' compensation cost? Workers' compensation insurance is mandatory for companies, and the cost for each employee depends on various factors such as their job description. When onboarding employees, employers will provide us with information about each employee's job responsibilities. Each employee is assigned a class code depending on their responsibilities and other factors, and then a rate is assigned per $100 of payroll. So let's say an employee's responsibilities are billed at a rate of 25 cents per $100 of payroll. That company would be charged $250 for every $1,000 they pay the employee. In addition to payroll, workers' compensation fees are also applied to bonuses and supplemental pay. Every time you make a payment, we automatically calculate your workers' compensation charges and display them on your invoice. No action is required to renew your policy as this is handled by JessWorks. One thing that is important to keep in mind about workers' compensation is you can only have workers' compensation in one place at a time. So if you're transferring to JessWorks and already have a workers' compensation plan somewhere else, you'll need to end the other policy in order to report incidents and make claims through JessWorks. What is the process for filing a workers' compensation claim? When you hear about a workplace incident, you should report it immediately and within 24 hours so you can start the claims process and activate a card your employee can use to pay for medical care. I'll walk you through how to start the claims process for workers' compensation directly in JessWorks. Log into JessWorks and select Benefits under HR. Now you'll select Incidents. Then you'll select Go on Workers' Compensation Claims. Then we'll select Begin to start the claim. On the next page, it will ask you for the date of the claim. For example, I'll say the incident happened on April 1st, 2025 at 10:33 a.m. Now I can record who was impacted. I'll type in the name of an employee and then Continue. Now you'll review your employee's information and your contact information since you're the person we may need to reach out to if we have any questions related to the claim. As you scroll on down, you'll enter the employee's personal email address. And you have the option to enter the employer policy number. We provide you with the certificate insurance or COI in your document center under HR. You can find the policy number on the COI. You don't have to worry if you don't have that document right in front of you. Select Confirm and Continue. Indicate if the injury was fatal or not. If the injury was fatal, you'll need to contact OSHA to report the incident and request a number to enter here. For my example, the injury wasn't fatal, so I'm going to uncheck this box. Now you'll need to describe the injury. I'll say my employee walked into the bakery this morning at the start of her shift, slipped on some coffee that spilled on the floor, and hurt her ankle. Next, you can input the address where the incident occurred. And you'll need to describe the part of the body that was affected. I'm going to say ankle, possible knee injury, and then I'm going to describe the injury. Then you'll need to report if there were any safeguards used at the time of the injury, yes or no. Safeguards could include something as simple as, was the employee up on the ladder by themselves when there should have been some support from a colleague there? Once we hit Continue, you'll answer some questions about the response to the injury. Did you call 911 or did the employee just say, hey, I'm going to skip the ambulance and take a taxi? Include as much detail as possible about what happened right after the incident. For the sake of my example, I'll check the box for Other. We'll say that Melinda took a taxi and went to an urgent care center nearby. I'll provide all the information for the urgent care center here. Now we need to report if there were any witnesses to the incident. I'll enter the name, contact information, and additional notes for each witness and then hit continue. Next, we'll want to enter if there were any days or hours missed from work. Were they paid for missed time? When did the employee start losing time? I'll enter the date. When did the employee return to work? I'll select employee has not returned yet and then hit continue. On the last page, you'll review all of the information pertaining to the claim that you input into the form. And the final step is to select Submit Report. After the report has been submitted, your employee will receive an Optum Health Card via email, which they can start using immediately. They should use this card to pay for their initial treatment and any first prescriptions filled related to the incident. You've successfully submitted a workers' compensation claim.